Hi, everybody. This is Suzanne Spooner. I am a QHHT Level 3 practitioner, and I wanted to do a little introduction into this wonderful session recording you're about to listen to. This session took place, actually, it's a golden oldies. It took place back in 2013, and it's a session that I've wanted to share for a long while. The client was amazing. She just has passed in 2019. But I want to give you some background on her. We're calling this one Wonderful Wanda Confronts Her Fear. And what an amazing demonstration of how, when we hold on to things like fear, it can affect our health. So, when I met Wanda, when she came in for her session, first one, actually, she came for another one a couple years later. But this is her first session that she had back in 2013 with me. She had had a session before with the great Dolores Cannon and is actually in one of her books. It's Convoluted 4. And if you want to geek out and read Wanda's session, Dolores lists her as a male. She did this often. She would change much about the clients so that they couldn't be recognized in their private lives. So she's referred to as he in this session. And it's Convoluted 4, page 52. It's a compilation of several lives as other creatures is the name of the chapter, and Wanda's is life as an ant. So she had already had that experience a few years before she came to me. Her health at that point was not so bad when she did her session with Dolores. But by the time she got to me, she was on oxygen and had suffered from COPD, amongst other things. And so when she came in, she's willing her oxygen tank and was quite frail. But just a big open heart. And she really wanted to come to grips with why she wasn't able to breathe easily. While we were in her interview, just chatting, it was hard for her to get the words out without taking great big gasps of air. So this was a very serious issue for Wanda. And she was so sweet. I think she was quite tickled that Dolores had put her session in her book, and right then and there, she gave me permission to share hers. I was so new. I was a baby practitioner back in 2013. I'd only been doing this for a little over a year, so um, that was such a sweet offer. But I was so green. I don't even think I had my blog up then. Certainly wasn't doing YouTube clips, and so although she's always in my heart, it was interesting. Just last week, I was goofing around on my iPad, and the screen popped up that I didn't even know where it came from. And lo and behold, there is Wanda's session recording. And it made me wonder about her. We used to stay in touch, and from time to time after her second session, I would get a phone call, and she'd keep me up to speed with how things were going in her life. Still having a few challenges, but making some progress. Even at the late stage in her life, she wanted to open up a community center for spiritually minded people. Just an amazing woman. And so our conversations are like that, but I hadn't heard from her for a while. So there comes up her recording. I hadn't listened to it for a long, long time. And once I listened to it, I thought, oh man, I really want to put this one out. It's so beautiful. So I started looking for her email to give her a call and couldn't find her email address at all anymore. And I Googled her and saw that she had passed away in 2019, so 6 years later. So I hope that she had a higher quality of life towards the end. Um, Obviously, this woman is so deeply connected, and actually knowing the session that you're about to listen to, it made me smile thinking about her experience that she must have had after she let go of her physical body. She was just an amazing person to in description of the experience that she had in her session. I think you'll love it. So I'm very happy and honored to share this. I think Wanda would be very thrilled that you are listening and hopefully learning from her experiences. Her session dealt a lot with fear and letting go of fear. And I thought that was perfect because at this time in our development, our evolution, I do believe that we are getting towards the end of fear. It may not look like that right now with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, but I think that's it. I think we're shaking everything up and we're having to confront our fears. So I want to tell you a little bit about this session, then I'll let you go so you can hear it yourself. Um, so again, I was a young practitioner at this, so I want to do a disclaimer to any other practitioners that are listening to this. Um, I'm going off the ranch a little bit here only because I didn't know what I didn't know. But overall, it's an okay session. The most important part is Wanda's contribution to that. So um, know that my technique has improved greatly since then, and please excuse where I go off the ranch a little bit. Okay, so in Wanda's first session with me, her first past life um, is on, she first thinks it's on a different planet. And she and all of her community are little. They're little people, she says. Um, and she's always going out on her own to contemplate what's beyond life. She kind of isolates herself in that way. Beautiful story, though. Then actually, her high self says at when we get to that part that planet or that life was actually a floating reality out in space. So it gives you more to contemplate there. Oh, I love QHHT for all of the ways it takes our minds. In her second life, then, it's very interesting. All she is floating around alone in darkness. She sees stars, but she feels like she's in a bubble of blackness. And it's actually an amazing story of a young soul, her soul, very young at that time, wanting to experience darkness and just see what that's about. But bless her heart, as that young soul, when she was getting her guidance about doing that, she forgot to ask how to get out of the darkness. So when we come into that life, she's contemplating, like, how in the heck do I get out of here? I don't like this. It's an amazing story. From there, we take a little journey to Temple of Learning after she's done floating around in darkness. And again, that was a bit of a fearful life for her. So we start this fear thing going. Going to the temple, and beautiful information that she gathers there. From there, we get to the high self. This is where the real magic begins. So obviously the body and healing the body is paramount in this session. And her high self, I believe it's a council for a while, is talking and wanting to help heal the body, but they say that she keeps getting in the way. So I'm, trying to help her get out of her way so that, this great work can continue. She's sitting up reclined in a lazy boy chair because she felt with her oxygen tank, she couldn't lay flat. So I do have a massage table in the room, which becomes used in a certain way here as we get going. She's laying in the chair. The high self is saying that she's getting in her way, and I give her a little meditation to help her go in deeper so that we can get this work going. Her high self is so strong. And it says it's bringing in energy doctors. The high self is bringing in all sorts of energy doctors that have all different specialties. And they're, she's kind of describing them in the room. And I'm looking around my room wishing I could see what they're describing. But they say eventually they lift her energy body out of the chair and put it over on the massage table to work on. So I'm talking to the rest of her over here, but the energy doctors are over there. I'm like, oh, I wish I could see this with my own physical eyes. And so great work gets done with that. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Um, Let me go through here. So something really unique happened in this session. I don't believe it's happened in any of my other sessions since then, where I'm in the midst of asking her high self the questions. And I believe we start talking about fear, and that fear is one of the main reasons why she's not breathing well in this life, why she has to have oxygen, COPD. And I'm having a hard time breathing for a second. So, um, I remember this. I'm looking down at her list of questions, getting ready to know what the next question is I'm going to ask, and all of a sudden, her high self talks very loudly. It jolts me, and it says, "You have to take her back to where the fear began." I'm like, "Whoa, this is totally off script. We've already gone through the past lives, and so I have to think super duper fast." But we get her back, and she ends up seeing kind of tidbits of three different past lives where fear ruled her life. It was fascinating. So you're going to hear this midway through the high self part. I believe it's around an hour and 45 minutes or so. But quickly, they take her back to a time where she is an infant that is born to a very young mother, and the very young mother doesn't know what to do with her. It's I don't remember if we got a lot about the community, but she didn't know what to do with this baby. Um, she gives birth to the baby in a field outside and leaves the baby to die, and it's a short life. And so beautiful understanding that we get first of abandonment, of course, by Wanda as the baby, but then we come full scale to what the mother was going through, and great forgiveness over that experience, but fear because she got abandoned. Then she is a young man, I believe, a man for sure, young, I think, who decides to take his life. And at the last second, he has regret and doesn't want to end his life, but it's too late and the life ends. So we find out about that again, fear being the motivation there. Then they take her to a life where she is a male native in a jungle. She has a lady that she loves, and there's somebody else in her tribe who wants the lady. And that other male starts chasing Wanda as the male native through the forest, and he really wants to have the lady, and Wanda isn't to have her as him. But him in that life is so scared that he runs through the forest for so long that he gets lost, and um, he runs to the point where his body can't take it anymore. He dies. He dies running in fear. And those were all really important parts that her high self wanted her to see, where she's lived her life in fear so much that it's created the end of the life. Such a deep, heavy subject, but I think one, in these wild times, we can all relate to the fear, right? But beautiful lessons in how we can take that and learn from it and not let it rule our lives. So this is wonderful, Wanda, and I hope that you really enjoy listening to her. Um, and we give her so much love sent to wherever she is at in her wonderful library, her beautiful star self on the other side. So thank you, Wanda. And we're finally getting your story out there. All right. Enjoy. Talk to you guys later.
Thing that you see. What do you notice?
Marshy land.
Okay. And where are you in relation to the marshy land?
I seem to be just standing and looking out at the land.
Okay. And,
There's no one there.
okay, just on your own?
On my own.
Okay. Do you see any trees or foliage, or is it just a landscape?
No, just the landscape.
Okay, you're doing really good. Now, I want you to bring your focus in a little bit closer to where you're at. Can you look down and see your feet?
I have pointy, turned up shoes.
Okay. And does the body feel male or female?
Feels male. I've got a pointy hat
Okay.
with the top kind of bends down with a tassel on it.
Okay.
On it,
What color is it?
green.
Okay. And what else are you wearing on the body?
Seems to be a little vest with a white shirt.
Okay.
Some kind of pants that's kind of like felt.
Okay.
And boots. Boots. I don't know what these pointy shoes are kind of like a boot.
Very good. Does the body feel young or old?
Feels young. There's like gold buttons on this vest.
Okay. Any other jewelry or ornamentation?
Mm. Something about red cheeks. No.
Okay.
No jewelry.
Okay. Okay. Very good. And what do you do? How do you spend your day?
I don't know.
Okay, that's all right. And you said that it feels like you're out there on your own right now?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you're wanting to do in that space? Or that you're there to do?
It seemed like I just want to hop from land space to land space. There's little wet places in between.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't jump on the solid part ground, you're going to get your feet wet.
Okay. Do you like getting your feet wet?
No.
Okay. Okay, you're doing really good. Now, let's leave this scene that we're looking at, and we're going to drift and float to where it is you live, where you eat and sleep at.
I live in a hut.
Okay, and describe for me what it looks
It
like.
has a thatched roof.
Okay.
And then, the walls aren't up and down. They're kind of like the roof underneath the roof.
Okay.
Kind of like an A shaped.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty, and
There's some kind of a stove, a metal stove, like a pot-bellied, not pot-bellied, it's a square stove.
Okay.
Little. I'm not very big.
Okay. So you fit in a small space pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
What else is in that space as you look around?
In the hut,
Mm-hmm.
there's mats, sleeping mats.
How many do you see?
2.
Okay.
I don't know, it must get cold. The stove seems like it's for warmth.
Okay. Very
I
good.
don't see any food.
Do you think you eat?
Berries.
Berries. Okay. Very good. Now, the area in that hut where you like to eat at, there's going to be some berries set out. Do you see those?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Describe those berries to me and anything else that you see that you would eat.
The berries just look like blackberries.
Mm-hmm.
They're little though.
Okay. Now, sitting in that area with you to enjoy those berries are the ones that are most important to you in this life, and you can see them very clearly and understand your connection to them. Is there anybody there?
I have a brother.
Okay. Tell me about him.
He occupies the extra mat.
Okay. Is he younger or older?
We're close in age,
Okay.
maybe 2 years apart.
Okay. And describe for me what he looks like. Let me see.
He's wearing the same kind of clothes.
Okay, pointy hat.
Yes, only he's a little pudgy.
Okay. What color hair does he have?
Red.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Very good. And when you look at him, look deep into his eyes, what type of feelings do you have as you look at him?
He has a twinkle in his eyes. He's kind of like a jokester.
Okay. Keeps you on your toes?
Yes.
So you have fond feelings as you look at him?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. How does he spend his day? What does he do?
He's really carefree.
Okay.
There's others around now that I see. There's other huts around. It kind of forms a circle.
Okay.
There's other people. He picks berries, and he's a happy, happy, happy person. I'm more serious.
Okay. Describe some of the other people you're seeing.
I see a woman,
Mm-hmm.
a short woman. Now her hat's different.
What does her hat look like?
It's green and it's kind of felt.
Okay.
She's got kind of a bell on the top of this thing, and there's I don't know how we'd ever make a hat like that. Their parts that come up at points on the sides.
Okay.
And she's got red hair, and she's kind of stout. She's got a long, fluffy skirt
Oh, pretty.
and an apron.
Okay. What color's her skirt?
It seems like it's got a pattern that's kind of close, kind of busy.
And do you feel very connected to her?
I think she might be a mother. I don't know if she's my mother.
Okay. Mother type figure at least?
Yes.
Okay. Very, very good. You're doing so very good here. Okay. Very good.
I'm not sure this is Earth realm at all.
Okay. You may not feel like Earth?
No.
Okay. Well, look at the sky. How does the sky appear?
It's a nice blue sky.
Okay. And the vegetation, does it look familiar?
This swampy area is around here, but where the camp is, it's solid. There's no swampy area there.
Okay. And so this is like a community of
Mhm.
people like you?
Yes.
And they all have their huts?
Yes.
And you said they're set up in a circle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that circle symbolic of anything, or is it just a way of being close to one another?
Way of being close.
Okay.
I don't know that it's for protection. It's just closeness.
Okay. Very good. Does it feel like you've been living there for a while?
Long time.
Long time. Okay. And do you get any more idea of what it is, how you spend your day, what your role is?
Seems like I contemplate a lot.
Okay.
I'm different than my brother. I'm not like him at all.
Okay.
More serious. I don't know. I spend a lot of time out in the marsh. I'm pay attention to the bugs, the grasshoppers, I don't know what I'm looking for. I like the quiet. I like the aloneness.
Okay. Very good. Is there anything in particular you like to contemplate?
What life is about.
Have you come to any good conclusions on that?
No.
Okay. Still contemplating?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, we're going to leave this scene that we're looking at, and we're going to drift and float to an important day in that life, drifting and floating to an important day, a day when something is happening, and now we're there. What do you see? What's going on?
I'm taking a wife.
Oh, tell me about that.
She looks little. She's littler than the mother I described.
Okay.
She's young. She's close to my age. She's got a happy smile. She's joyous a lot.
Oh.
And she's going to take care of the mundane things, take care of the hut.
Yeah. Have you
She's
known her for a
happy.
long time?
No, she's just been there in the community.
Okay.
But I was drawn to her happiness
Okay.
and her smile. She had green eyes.
Pretty. Very good. So what do you think life will be like being married to her?
She'll take care of the living part. It's like I now have more freedom to be out contemplating.
Right. Well, that's really nice that she takes care of that for you then.
Yes.
Very good. Is the brother still going to live with you?
No.
Okay. And the wedding ceremony, is there anything special about that?
There's some kind of a streamer on a stick like. Everybody seems to be dancing around. They've got a fire in the middle of the compound. And there's food. There's little kids running around. And there's some little dogs.
Oh, what do they look like?
They're just tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny. They're not big animals.
Right.
They seem to be happy too.
Oh, good. Everybody's enjoying it.
Yes.
Okay. Nice celebration.
There's little cakes. They don't have like a big cake.
Okay.
There's little cakes. The women are busy cooking for the celebration.
Okay.
Her dress is more for the occasion. It seems as though she has an apron that is lacy.
Oh,
Lacy.
very
Her
good.
hat's not. Her hat is more like a skull cap.
Okay.
But she has red hair
Okay.
and green eyes and a great big smile and fat cheeks.
Sounds delightful.
She's just happy all the time.
That's nice. Good, good, good. Okay, and then let's move away from that scene and let's move to another important day when something is happening, and now we're there. What do you see?
I see a baby, but I did not want children.
Okay.
But she, the mother, is thrilled.
Okay.
It's a little girl. She is tiny, tiny, tiny. Because we're not big people.
Right.
She's thrilled. Because I'm gone so much, this gives her company.
Oh, sure. Okay. And as you look at that baby girl, what do you think?
I think it's good for her mother.
Okay.
But it's not someone I want tagging along after me.
Okay. You don't want the attachment so much?
No.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Anything else about that day that strikes?
The baby smells sweet.
Oh. She look like you or her mama?
Her mama.
Oh. Very nice. Okay, then we're going to leave that day and we're going to drift and float to another important day, a day when something is happening. What do you see?
Oh. There's some turmoil at the end of down, I would say at the north end of the circle. There's some commotion going on. There's a fire. There's a lot of yelling.
Okay.
It seems as though something has come and invaded, broken the circle.
What's
They-
invaded?
Pardon?
What has invaded? What's done
This
it?
seems like some little people, and they have like armor on or something.
Okay.
And they came from the north. We're simple people. We happy people. We not warring people. I don't understand. I don't understand. I
Have
want
you
them to
seen
go.
these people before?
No, but we've been aware. We've been aware. We never thought they would bother us because we don't bother them.
Right.
They just seem to be conquering people.
Just for the
I
sport of
don't
it?
like them much. Yes, I don't like them much.
Okay.
I don't like that. They've broken our circle. Makes me really sad.
Yes. So what are you and the others going to do?
Hope that they go away because we're not worrying people.
Mm-hmm.
They finally just go away. They burnt some huts down there at the north end of and we're going to repair them and just try to go on with our life. But we don't like warring bunches. We hope they never come back.
Right.
They didn't take any of our people. They just, it's like we were happy and they didn't like that.
Oh. Just cause some destruction?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you're doing so very good. Now, let's move away from that scene and let's go to the last day in that life. drifting and floating to the last day, and you can just be an observer to that scene if you like. Tell me what you see. What's going on?
I'm sitting cross-legged on my mat. My daughter has now grown up. She's thin. She's a little taller than her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And she's lighting my pipe. I have a long pipe that I smoke. And I know it's my time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm finished my pipe, I'm just going to lay down and leave my body.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
I feel that life is finished,
Mm-hmm.
and I can leave it in good stead.
Okay. Very good. Very good.
Now I'm going on to what I've wondered was all through that life. I wondered what there was beyond that life.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to find out.
Yeah. Now, whatever has happened, and you've left the body, and you've drifted over to the spirit side.
Oh, there's a big party going
Oh.
on.
Tell me about that.
Everybody's saying, yay, yay. You finished. We discussed that it wasn't a hard life.
Mm-hmm.
Just that I was frustrated all the time, wondering what about the spirit world.
Oh, because you couldn't remember?
Mm-mm. Really frustrated about it.
Okay.
But I loved my wife and I loved my child. We just had one child,
Okay.
a little girl, but she was a great comfort to her mother. And I loved my circle of people. We were a peaceful, but it wasn't on the earth. It was someplace else.
What
But we
did you call it?
What did we call it? I don't know. I sort of felt like we were little pixie people.
Okay.
A happy group.
Yeah.
Those warring people didn't come back.
Okay, good. What were some of the lessons that you learned in that life?
That I hated. People that were angry because other people were happy. And I hated killing. Hated destroying something that belonged to somebody else. I didn't like those people for doing what they did. Because we had a peaceful life. I actually was very lonely because I was so possessed with this wanting to know. I thought by going out in the marsh that I could know what it was like with spirit. I just communed with the insects and little tiny animals out there. Oh, I'm back in that. I can remember one time there was when I was in the marsh, there was like a woman in a long white flowing gown. She had a crown on her head. She had a long staff. And we visited.
Mm-hmm.
She just simply floated down from above.
Okay.
That was neat.
What was that conversation about?
I am from that world that you wonder about all the time.
Mm.
I have the ability to transcend from the spirit world to the manifested world. And you will do that someday, she said.
That must have been a wonderful
It
experience.
was. I didn't tell anybody about it because they thought I was kind of strange anyway.
Did she ever come back and visit again?
No.
No. Did she give you any other words of advice or wisdom?
She praised us, me and our whole group, for being a loving, community,
Nice.
loving people.
The group was carrying out its purpose well.
Yes.
Okay. So what was your purpose in that life?
To know what it was like to live among people who loved each other. Like, the whole community was like one big family, although we weren't genetically connected.
Right.
And it was wonderful until somebody come along and tried to destroy it.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't get very far,
No,
did
they didn't. They just went right back to it.
Now, looking back over that from the spirit side, why do you think that invasion didn't occur like they may have hoped it would have?
It seems as though these people, because they were loving and didn't fight back,
Mm-hmm.
those mean whatevers people didn't get the satisfaction from it. They thought they would put up a fight,
Right.
and they didn't. So there wasn't much enjoyment. They just burned down some of the houses
Mm-hmm.
and caused some chaos. And they did not get the results they had hoped to get, so they thought it was a waste of time.
Okay.
They wanted a big battle. There was no big battle, so they never came back.
Good. Okay. So you can kind of see how the community pulled together
Yes.
there and
Yes,
worked together. Okay.
it just wasn't in them to destroy another human. It just wasn't there.
Right.
There was no, those bad people did not kill anyone. Had there been a fight, a resistance, they would have.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would have come back again.
Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
It's like the resistance feeds the warring
Right.
mentality, doesn't it?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
very interesting.
Boy, that was hard not. Well, it just was not in those people to know to strike out at anybody. It just was not.
Your people were so peaceful.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else about that life that you'd like to touch base on?
It's very strange. It's almost like that little community is a floating reality somewhere out in space.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Lots of possibilities, aren't there?
I guess there is.
Huh. We'll ask about that.
I don't know. I know that in my heart that there can be peace. You can have joy and peace and live in harmony and be filled. You don't long for anything as long as you're in that. Me, I was different. I was longing for the spirit world.
Mm-hmm.
Those people who were perfectly satisfied in their own little community, doing the mundane things, it was joyous to them.
Mm-hmm.
But I needed a little more.
When that energy, that entity came to visit you in the long white dress, was that in the middle of your life or end of your life or beginning?
In the middle.
In the
I was
middle.
already married and had the child.
Okay. Well, that
Yes.
must have given you a lot to think on after
Yes,
that.
it did, and I kept on searching.
Yeah.
It made me a happier person. Not that I wasn't unhappy,
Right.
but I didn't search so hard.
Right.
Because I knew then that there was more.
Right. You had proof of it.
Yes,
Exactly. Okay.
I could prove it to nobody, but I proved it to myself.
Right.
I didn't need to prove it to the community because they were happy where they were.
Right. This is more like your journey.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. Very good.
And that wife I had, she was willing to let me. She didn't understand, but it was okay with her.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, what a relationship.
That's beautiful. Well, and you allowed her to have the child that
I
she
did.
needed.
I did.
Very nice. So really great cooperation.
Yeah, there was no fighting about anything.
No.
That's strange, to be such a perfect little community. They were happy.
Yeah. Would you like to remember in your conscious state what that community with no conflict feels like to be in?
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, that feels good to the heart, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we're going to leave that scene, moving away, drifting away, moving away and drifting away, leaving that man in the past. He'll continue his journey, he'll find peace. And now we're drifting and floating to another appropriate time and place. Drifting and floating to another appropriate time and place. And now we're there. What do you see? What's going on?
It's dark. I can't see anything.
Okay.
Stars appearing, but there's darkness all around me. I don't know where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. What do the stars look like? How does that feel to you?
There's another reality out there, but I can't get to it because I'm in the dark.
Okay. And are you aware of your body? What is that like?
Can't see it because it's so dark.
Okay. Does it feel like you're within a body? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
It's hurtful.
It's what?
Hurtful.
Hurtful. Okay.
I don't like this.
Okay. Now you can just be observing the scene. You don't have to be directly in it. Do you see some light that you can move towards?
No.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm so alone.
Okay.
It's like I'm a bubble of blackness.
Okay.
I can't see outside the bubble.
Okay. Does it feel like you're on a surface, or does it feel like you're just floating in
I'm
that
just
bubble?
floating in this black bubble.
Okay.
This is not fun.
Okay. What do you think? Why do you think you're there? What do you think it is to learn about being in that?
Why am I here? Why am I in that black bubble? I came from way out there among the stars. There was light out there.
Mm-hmm. Let's move back in time and space, back to when you were out there, back with the stars, drifting, floating, and now we're there. Tell me what that's like.
There's lots of scurrying around.
Mm-hmm.
Here and there. People. Boy, that's a big place out there.
What does it look like?
I don't know. There's light, just total light. Lots and lots and lots of people.
What do the people look like?
Their heads are a little down, and it's like they're on a journey,
Mm-hmm.
searching, studying, studious.
Is it a place of learning, do you think?
I think it is.
Okay.
And I think it's a place of deciding what you want to do,
Okay.
what you want to experience. And I came from there. I wanted to know what it was like
What did you want to know what it was like?
to be in a black, alone bubble.
Oh, so you chose it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Now I don't know how to get out of it.
Okay. All right. Don't want to stay back where you were before, at that place where everybody's scurrying around.
Okay.
Is there a place that you go to get some instruction or
There's a
understanding?
big, huge building with big white pillars.
Okay, let's go over there.
Okay, it's lots and lots of steps. Okay, we go up the steps and go in this long hall. There's a blue light above in a portion of this hall. It's like I'm following this blue light. turns to the right, goes in one of the big rooms,
Okay.
and it's a schoolroom,
Oh.
and there's a teacher that sits at a big, huge table up front.
Mm-hmm.
You go in and sit down. You can ask him questions. And he's asking me what I am interested in.
What do you tell him?
I'm interested in experiencing. He said, what do you want to experience? I wanted to know what it's like to be in the darkness. Phew. That was dumb. Gosh. Oh, he said, well, this can be arranged. No problem. Are you sure that's what you want to do? But I said, yes, that's exactly what I want to experience.
Had you had that experience before?
No,
So this is brand new.
brand new.
Okay.
Then the next thing is I find myself in that stupid black bubble. And I cannot get out.
Okay.
Because I didn't discuss with him how you get out of the darkness.
Could have asked maybe a couple more questions.
I think so.
Okay.
I jumped too quick.
Okay. Okay.
Now, somehow, I've got to float around. You know what? I see a lot of black bubbles.
Oh, so there's others maybe?
Yeah, they weren't too smart either.
Well, at least you know you're not alone.
Well, yeah. But we're bumping into each other and we're not shattering each other's bubble.
Interesting. So how is it, do you think you can end that experience?
Well, I'm down on my knees in this bubble. And I'm thinking. There's got to be an answer. There is always a way. Okay, I'm looking at the stars. If I came from there, maybe if I get closer, there will be more light that will shine within this blackness. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
So I'm mentally moving this bubble closer to the light. And this light is going halfway into this darkness. I'm in the dark part. This is really ridiculous. Gee, I ought to write a book. Golly sakes.
So what is it
Now.
like now that you're closer?
This light finally pins me against the edge of this black bubble.
Okay.
You forgot. You forgot to ask more questions. You got yourself in a big pickle, didn't you? I'm going to help you this one time. You've got to quit jumping. You've got to concentrate. You've got to search out all the ins and outs before you jump. Okay, their hand reaches in the bubble. The bubble just bursts. But I wouldn't advise anybody to want to see what the darkness is like.
Okay.
I saw it. I don't ever go there again.
Okay. You've learned.
I learned. It was, now I'm worried about all of those other black bubbles down there. Phooey.
Ask the light about that.
Well, since I need to do some more learning, then I can find a way to reach some of those dark bubbles. Those people that walk in darkness.
Mm.
This will take a little bit. That was scary. So I find myself at a desk in a room in this temple light
Okay.
place, and I see jillions of books, jillions and jillions. And there is a librarian. And I asked, to have a book that will teach me to investigate before I jump.
Hmm.
And I'm poring over this book. It seems so mundane, but it isn't.
What do you notice in that book that really strikes you?
I'm not the only one that had that experience and was saved by the light. When you want to do something, it tells you that you need to investigate all the ins and the outs before you make a final decision. Not just jump in and not find all the ramifications of jumping. This is rather deep. You need to use your imagination.
Hmm.
You take a problem and you imagine what would happen if such and such happens. Then what would you do? This is going to take some studying. I'm going to be there a while. And it seems as though that there are others coming in that were in this situation also. They were what you call jumpers.
Okay.
And they would jump into realities before having a full evaluation of what that reality was really about.
Mm-hmm.
There are books and teachers that can explain to you what's going on in those realities. That would be a safer way to have the knowledge before you jump. Whew.
Kind of more prepared.
Right. Okay. So now we're all sort of studying together and sharing
Mm-hmm.
experiences.
Mm-hmm.
It seems as though I was a young soul then. I sure don't want to get hooked up with the darkness again without a back of knowledge.
What do you think made you want to experience that darkness? What was the draw?
It was new,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like a young person that I could do anything. I can remember. Yep. I don't want
Fearless?
to. Yes, fearless. And that's the hard way to learn.
Yeah. It must be wonderful to be in that temple, though. And all
Oh,
those
it is.
books.
It seems as though when you walk in these rooms, they look small, but all of a sudden they expand, get very large.
Is there a name to that temple that you would call it?
Temple of Learning.
Temple of Learning. Wow.
Sure, a lot of steps to climb. My goodness. And the big pillars. It's a beautiful building. And it has a roof, but sometimes it looks like you can just peer out through the roof into the stars.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of energy floating around, too, that has colors.
Are people in bodies, or are they light bodies?
Light bodies.
Okay. Is that how you see yourself?
Yes. Young, though.
Okay. How
Very.
can you tell young from older?
Well, I was shorter,
Mm-hmm.
sprier.
Mm-hmm.
The older ones are taller and seem to have, you can tell that they have more wisdom because they're walking sort of with their heads down a little bit, contemplating. You know, funny thing I saw just a few seconds ago when I was explaining about light and energy.
Right.
There were two colors. There was a gold and a purple that sort of formed a ball, but there was a definite direct division between them. And they could join,
Mm-hmm.
then they could separate and be single again. I don't know about that. Curious.
That's very interesting, isn't it?
Curious.
So much to learn in this place.
Yes.
So, what's in all those books, do you think?
Anything you'd ever want to know.
Wow.
And I don't think that's the only room of books either. Some rooms you walk into, there's a big long table with a whole bunch of I call them teachers. I don't know what they're, I assume they're, they have tremendous knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
They're like teachers. They'd have to be to be there when all these younger ones come in to learn.
Right. Do they help guide?
Yes,
Okay. And
but
are you,
but they're not guides.
okay.
Like
a council?
Yes,
Can you go and talk to the council?
yes. You can walk into any of these rooms. It seems like they're open to. I mean, you don't have to have an appointment. And I just happened to walk in this one room, so this huge long table with a whole bunch of those. And I thought they were men. Very intelligent, all-knowing. And you could sit down in front of them, and if there was no one there, or if there was, you just waited your turn. If you had a question, you could ask them.
That's awesome. What would you ask them if you could ask them anything?
How long will it take me to have some sense?
That's a very good question.
Because I was young, a young spirit.
What did they say?
And they just giggled.
They have a good sense of humor.
Yeah, yeah, very good. And when they got done laughing, they said, "In time, my son, in time." Gee whiz. I bet they thought. They've probably seen it before.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet you're right. Very. So do you think you come to this temple in between
Yes,
your
definitely.
lives? Okay. So
Yeah.
this is a familiar place.
Yes.
I'm happy to get back to. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's always been there. Always will be.
Nice. Well, that's reassuring, isn't it?
Yes.
Feels good.
Until everything I'm being shown implodes.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. Everything that has been created in this universe under this creator, when it's reached the end of its time, it just simply implodes. And then it will, and it's not a Big Bang theory, it's not that. Then there's a period of everything's in there. All the spirits that were, and they all join into one, into the God force, a creator force.
Mm-hmm.
And then they decide what they're going to do next. It takes a while. Then it just, all this just seems to open up into another kind of creation.
Wow.
And I don't know what that would be. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. It's kind of like a cycling of
Yeah, I wish I could.
creation.
Yeah. I think that's why there is no end. There's just, things just keep going on and on and on. Recycling.
Just infinite, isn't it?
Infinite.
Wow.
And I think there's other creations out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we can jump over into those creations or if we have to stay in this section. I don't know.
Can you ask council that question?
Yeah. I said, you're awful young to be asking a question like that. Yes, if you reach the level, and I'm talking very high level, then you can go for a visit. Well, it's been taking me a long time.
Well, maybe you stopped jumping quite so fast.
Yeah, that's one of my lessons I had to learn.
Right.
Seems like I've carried that a lot of lifetimes, though.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting. Well, it seems so nice to have this council there to answer these questions.
Yes.
Would it be okay to ask the council some of the questions that you came into the session with, do you think?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so we want the council to come
I
through.
need to not be that young little boy to do that. No, I don't know how to get that boy.
Let's do this. Let's just leave that scene that we're looking at.
Okay.
Moving away and drifting away. Moving away. And now I want to call forth the consciousness of Wanda. May I speak to Wanda's high self, please? Do I have permission to speak to Wanda's high self, please? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Would it be okay to ask her health questions at this point?
Yes.
Thank you. Well, actually,
First of all, she has been very difficult.
talk to her about that.
She's been a hard one, too. Because she's so strong-willed.
Right.
And she has pushed the body almost beyond where it should have been.
Mm-hmm. Why did she choose to have that experience of pushing the body so much?
Wanted to experience so much. Afraid there wasn't enough time, and just kept piling more experiences, one on top of the other, until it just simply wore the body down.
Let me ask
Fear, great fear she had.
Right. Tell her about that, how that works with the body.
Fear tears the body down. From the top of the head to the toes.
Right.
And she knows that when you came in to this earth, you forget. And she's felt like there is not enough time to experience it all, when she shouldn't have had to experience that much. But this is what she chose to do.
Okay.
So I let her. And now she's in this weakened state.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been difficult to keep her here. We know her desire to stay.
Mm-hmm.
But we had to get her to the point, the lowest point, before she finally gave up and said, I give up.
She's a stubborn one, isn't she?
Extremely.
Before we talk about her physical issues, can I ask why you chose to first show her that life of the small person with the community?
This is what she grieves for this lifetime,
Okay.
is peace and harmony. And the community, this community represented Mother Earth
Okay.
and the people on it.
Okay.
This community could be what Earth is like. And she grieves for that.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Wanda's not sure that there's going to be a split between the frequencies,
Okay.
the low frequencies and the high frequencies. She worries constantly about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because she knows that there are those in the low frequencies that can never be reached and that they cannot be with those of high frequency.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't work.
They're not capable of that experience at
No.
that time.
They don't go together.
Okay.
It just simply wouldn't work. And that the high frequency, the frequency that people have reached, the high frequency is past the war. If you put that dark frequency in with the light frequency, they're not going to war with you. They're just not going to. It just won't work. It has to be separated. And she wonders if that actually can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Such a worrywart she is.
What would you tell her?
That it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that it will happen in time. It's getting very close.
Mm-hmm.
But people, there are so many people that is ready to be with the light, with the higher frequency, that need to be balanced to be able to go. They cannot stay with the dark. They cannot. But they don't know how to get there.
Can you explain to her how that can happen?
Yes, there are helpers. There are lots of helpers. There are those that have come to this earth to be human, that walk within the light, that are there to be helpers for those people that want to go with the light
Mm-hmm.
and want the peace. Killing never solves anything. It just creates a circle of killing. Never solves anything. And these people have come to realize this, and they want to be separated away from that.
Mm-hmm.
There are those, some will wake up, but some will not. And it's extremely painful for those that are not separated from them yet. It's very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
They're suffering, but they're more in the light than they are in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And there are those that have been sent And it's their contract to help these people. If Wanda doesn't get her body lined up, she will not be able to help those that she wants to help, because she's one of them right at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But she sees that if the body got straightened up, got balanced, put back together, so to speak, she can be one of the helpers. It's just that from childhood, she's come forward and she's just like, oh, let's go this way. Okay, we'll go that way. And zigzag back and forth, choices. And got to the point she's very out of line.
Okay.
Not that this was wrong, going this way and that way and this way and that way. No, it was not wrong, because each one of those zigzags, she learned a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know what those lessons were, but she will one day.
Okay.
She will one day.
Now, let me ask you this. Can you go ahead and start scanning the body and doing some healing work while I ask another question?
Okay.
I want to know why it is that you chose to show her that life of being in that black energy, in that bubble. What was the purpose of showing her that?
What it was like to be caught in the dark, and to know that that isn't where you wanted to be, and to know that there were other people that did that, got caught in the dark, literally jumped and went to the darkness to see what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
And after they got there, they didn't want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she was shown. Her soul was very young at the time, that soul.
Mm-hmm.
Not that was just a portion of the big soul.
Right.
It was a portion that did not experience much, and had not grown up much at the time. And she needed to know why the darkness and what it was about. And that there are those walking this planet that's exactly what happened to them. And they don't know how to get out of it.
So they're even in human bodies,
Yes,
but they're
they
having
are.
that same experience?
Yes.
So all those blobs of, all those bubbles that she saw, were those people just in that experience of being in that bubble? Or are they actually in other realities? And I mean, how does that all tie in? I'm curious.
Other realities outside the earth, is that what you're
Or
speaking
in the
of?
earth, or I mean, or experiencing a life on the earth at the same time?
Yes.
Is that what that represents?
There are also these that are floating above the earth in these dark bubbles.
Tell me about that.
They don't have the life bodies,
Mm-hmm.
the physical flesh, but they have a form, a human form. Now, those can be reached also. And there are those coming from the spirit world that are working with them.
Mm-hmm.
And she's capable of working with those because she has had people who have died and have been here for a long time. She's had those experiences here and has released those back to the light, so that she is capable of working with those people caught in those bubbles that are above the earth. She just didn't know it.
Interesting. Well, she'll take that in. She'd be really excited, I think, to have that clear understanding. But we need to get this body in alignment, don't we?
Yes.
It's causing a lot of issues for her right now. So let's start with that. What are you seeing in the body that needs some attention and some
The whole
healing?
body is out of alignment.
Mm-hmm. How do you bring that back into alignment? Explain it to me.
I'm calling in a lot of spirit doctors.
Great.
Here come the white coats. And they say, oh, they're lined up on both sides of me. and I'm telling them to go to work. They each have their expertise.
Excellent, excellent.
Wanda sometimes believes that she's not worthy of this,
Mm-hmm.
and she needs to step out of the way.
Excellent.
She's not doing that very well.
Tell her she can go to the back of the room,
Okay.
go back to her beautiful place if she wants to, and just hang out there.
Okay.
So we're doing great and powerful work. We need her out of the way. Come get her when we need her. Explain to me about the doctor energy that's here that's working on the body.
These doctors each have their expertise.
Mm-hmm.
Some work with the nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
Some work with the blood system. Some work with the DNA. Some work with the bones. Some work with the organs.
Nice. It looks like Wanda's in line for a whole overhaul.
I hope she can stay out of the way so that it will happen.
Yeah, we need her out of the way because this is exactly what she came here to experience, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, would it be good for me to go down her list of questions while they're working on the body?
We'll try that.
Okay.
She keeps flipping from going to the ocean and coming back, going to the ocean and coming back.
Okay. Let's just tell her to stay down at
Stay
the
down
ocean.
at the ocean.
It's a beautiful place to be. No cares and no worries there. She
There's a
can
cool
enjoy
breeze.
the sunshine and listen to the waves. Get her there?
Yes.
Okay. She asks about her lungs and what the doctors call COPD. What's going on with the lungs there?
I can't separate it. I can't separate it.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do right now. You're doing just fine. I want you just to relax. And we're going to work with bringing in some white light in through the body. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay. So we're bringing in pure source white light. It's coming in through the crown, coming in, entering the body now. It has beautiful, healing, loving energy, absolutely pure source energy. We're asking it to come into each and every cell of the body, recharging, regenerating, putting back into alignment anything that is out of alignment as it comes. It's into the brain, working through the wiring system of the brain, allowing her to feel completely worthy of this healing that's occurring. She is absolutely a sovereign being of God. and is incredibly worthy of this healing and having a healthy body. So we're reworking the wiring of the brain, allowing her highest, greatest good to be served as this white light works through the body, down through the eyes, opening and clearing the third eye, so she has clear intuitive vision, working with the pineal gland to get it functioning at its highest, greatest way, keeping her connection to Source very, very connected and clear. White lights coming in through the rest of the face, into the nose and the ears, going into each and every cell, regenerating, and in between the cells, there's nothing that this white light can't reach. Working through the mouth, through the throat, the vocal cords, the bones, the muscles, the tendons, the spiritual body, working itself down through the area of the throat so this one can speak her truth without any fear, allowing for repair work to be done as it goes, allowing this one to breathe the breath of life with ease, with joy, and without assistance. Her lungs are filling with the white light. They are very full and capable of holding the breath of life in them. White lights going down through the arms, through the chest, through the fingers, allowing her to be able to do healing work that she so pleases. Healing herself first, and then if she wants to use it to heal others and assist them. White lights coming down into the organs, down into the liver, the kidneys, clearing out all the chakras as it goes so that the energy can be held to support health and well-being. Going down into the female region, repairing, replenishing, working with the blood as it pumps through the body and the oxygen in the body, balancing it out, getting everything into alignment, repairing the bones, the spine, allowing her to have great support for the physical body, going down into the hips, giving great love to the hip that was replaced and giving great love to the hip that remains so that it can function in its highest, greatest capacity. The white light is filtering down through the tail, through the root chakra, allowing her to be connected with great love and honor to her tribe, to those that are here to help and assist her. White light going down through the legs now, regenerating the muscles, the bones, the tendons, allowing her to have the support to hold her with ease and move through life with great purpose. This one has a lot of work yet to do, and she wants to do it with ease. Now white light's going down through the knees, doing any repair work there. And as it moves down through the calves and the ankles, and the feet and the toes, keeping a continuous loop of this white light going through the body. Now, tell me what else the doctors are doing to help her out.
We're carrying her body to a table, not her flesh and bones.
Okay.
We're carrying the spirit body
Oh,
to a
wonderful.
table.
Great. Tell us why you're doing that and what's going on, please.
Because she's having a difficult time.
Right.
We're starting at the head,
Okay. And what are you doing there?
repairing the energy. Starting with the brain, moving down through all the systems in the head. Working on the neck.
Mm-hmm. What's going on there?
Well, there's several things. There's the throat and the bone structure in the neck.
Okay. What are you doing to repair?
Trying to repair all of it in that
Excellent.
system. There's a lot of destruction and muscles in the body. Body is diseased. The doctors do not see this. It's something they cannot treat.
But you can heal that. I've seen you do miracles.
Thank you. Going to heal the spirit body is what we're going to do. That we're working on. Then we're going to take this and we're going to place this back into her physical body.
Okay.
And she's to practice every day. Every day. In the morning when she wakes up, in the evening when she goes to bed. She's to visualize for the physical body. As she does this, this will be transferred from the spirit body to the physical body. And the more she believes she can do this and is worthy, the more that will take place.
Excellent.
The quicker will have to do with her accepting the fact that she is worthy to do this. This will take some time.
So what would you recommend that she visualize to help herself out there?
The white light transferring from the spirit body. She can visualize the spirit body above her when actually it's inside her, but it's easier to visualize above her. Seeing the white light that has repaired the spirit body and see this transferring to the physical. It's not that hard, but she thinks it is.
Can we change that wiring in the brain so that she doesn't think it's hard?
Okay? There's an area that was damaged in the left brain.
Okay.
She had an aneurysm that healed over. She has pain from it, but there's nothing visual that the doctors can find.
Okay.
We will try to connect this and make it flow as normal as if it never happened.
Okay.
This is genetic.
And when that's connected, then she can have greater strength in her belief?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, she's doubting that we're telling her right now. Okay, I will say it. We're taking a blue laser to this area and healing it Now accept the fact that that is being done. Okay. Accept that the pain will be gone. I feel it dissipate. I pray that it never will return again.
She doesn't need to experience that anymore, does
No.
she?
Because we've taken the blue laser
Right.
and healed that.
Excellent.
If she does feel the pain, it's nothing more than memory
Okay.
because it's healed.
Well, why don't we just take those memories if they don't serve her?
Okay?
We just have to be one step ahead of her, don't we?
Yes. Her mind just click, 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 click.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. This is Wanda, I saw them zap in the front part of the brain
Mm-hmm.
with laser
Mm-hmm.
of white silver light. It just made a big starburst.
Neat. Okay.
I don't know. Is that the memory center?
I want you to just
I need to
recede back.
accept that.
Yep.
I
Recede.
question everything.
Don't question. Just recede back and just
I-
accept the
Okay,
experience.
I accept it.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just floating back
Okay.
again, just melting away. And now we want the high self back in, and maybe tell us what that star burst that she saw. Explain to her so she can understand it.
Okay, the starburst had two energies in it. It had blue and silver and white.
Okay.
It had actually three. This was to the front part of the brain. She needs to be able to question things, but not to the extent of not trusting.
Okay.
She goes too far with the questioning.
Mm-hmm.
She's always wanted detail, 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 detail.
What would you tell her?
She doesn't need so many details.
Mm-hmm.
But what she saw was valid.
Is head feeling better now?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. So tell her then what's being healed so that she can breathe with great ease.
This is complicated. It comes from the hiatal hernia.
Mm-hmm.
It's allowing acid to come up. It has almost destroyed the ability of the esophagus to function at all.
Mm-hmm.
It just wants to collapse and stay collapsed. Now, the acid reaches the throat. It reaches the flap that it opens for the breathing. It's kept irritation and swelling in there, which cannot function properly either. It's not so much the lung part as it is the part that opens and closes to breathe.
Okay, so that's the key, isn't it?
Yes. We need to heal the hiatal hernia.
Okay. Can you explain how you heal that, what it looks like to you?
What it looks like is somebody with a welding torch,
Mm-hmm.
lasering the inflamed part,
Mm-hmm.
making that smaller,
Okay.
healing the swelling, the erratic functioning of that opening.
Excellent. Would it like a little love sent into it?
Yes.
Okay. Has it felt loved?
No.
Yeah. Explain to her why that's important for all of her body to feel love.
They don't feel a purpose without love.
Mm-hmm. Is it feeling love now? Is it feeling the love come in?
They know that there is in the spirit body. It's a matter of transferring that
Mm-hmm.
to the physical body.
Okay.
And she, since she is so interfering, is going to have to direct the healing from the spirit body to the physical body.
Okay.
This is a big job.
Mm-hmm. But it's possible, isn't it?
Yes.
It's probable.
If she believes
Yes.
she can do this.
Mm-hmm. Explain to her why you believe she can do this.
Because she's so strong in will.
Mm-hmm.
Strong-willed.
Mm-hmm.
If she doesn't do this, the body will not carry her through ascension. But she can ascend from the spirit world.
That's true.
But Wanda does not want to.
She wants the whole Monty, doesn't she?
Yes.
She wants to have the full experience in the body.
Yes.
That's what we're all excited about.
Yes.
Okay, so
And she has to do this on her own. She's scared silly.
mm-hmm.
Scared.
But she's with you. She just has to be
Yes.
remembering that, right? She's not so much on her own.
No, I've got the spirit. All those helpers with her.
Yeah. She's got a beautiful community surrounding her, doesn't she?
Yes.
Okay.
But what she lacks is support in the human world.
Yes.
The husband has his own path to walk. She does not feel help from him
Mm-hmm.
in the love area.
Well, I'd imagine if she can work with you to get the physical body healed, that a lot of that could change for the better one way or the other.
Yes.
Okay. She wouldn't have to be so dependent on him.
Yes.
Okay. So how is that hiatal hernia looking at this moment?
Well, it's got one corner lasered.
Okay. Is she feeling any sensations physically while you're working on her?
She feels pain on the left side of the stomach
Okay.
opening
What's that discomfort coming
from the lasering.
Okay. Can we minimize that discomfort for her?
Okay. It's gone.
Good. Very good. Okay. So can you continue to work on that lasering while I ask some other questions?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Oh gosh.
Um,
She asks that, she says that her third eye is not as strong as it once was. She had a period of time where she felt she was very open to spirit. Can we do some work on that third eye?
Yes.
Tell us what you're doing.
It's like we're circling with energy, starting in a small circle and just making it bigger and bigger. And also at the back of the head, the gland.
Pineal gland?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell her about why that gland is so important to function well.
I am getting nothing.
Okay. Does it feel like it's being worked on a little bit?
I feel that medication has dulled the sight, the ears, the third eye.
Okay.
She took the medicine because the whole body is in pain 24/7. Well, the spirit body has been healed,
Nice. Congratulations. That's beautiful.
but the work is only half done.
Okay. So tell us what she needs to be doing.
I think we did say that she would have to do this twice a day,
Right.
morning and night. Had to visualize the joining of the spirit body, the healed part
Okay.
to the physical body,
Okay.
and believe this will not happen if she doesn't trust that she's worthy to have this done.
Okay.
And rest. And yes, she's craving fruit because this creates lightness in the body.
Okay.
And it helps also to flush impurities from the body.
So she's to continue with eating lots of fruit?
Yes.
Okay.
Be nice if she could drink
Okay.
fruits.
Fruit juices?
Well,
Or
us like in an apparatus that grinds it.
oh yeah, like a juicer.
Yes.
Okay. So
She has both those.
okay, so she could juice a
But
lot
she
of
won't
fruit.
ask her husband to do it.
Okay. But maybe if she's feeling better, she can do that for herself.
Yes.
Okay. And you did say that you worked on that part of the brain so that she would feel that she's worthy to accept this healing. Is that right?
The spirit body part has been healed.
Okay.
She needs to join this. Now, she did join already where she had the aneurysm and the pain. That is joined,
Nice.
that to the physical body.
Okay.
And she questions at the top of the head when we zapped her. She questions if that transferred to the physical body.
What would you tell her?
It did.
And to accept that
Accept it.
and be
It's
grateful.
done, and be grateful.
It's great work,
Great.
isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, very good. She says her physical eyes are becoming weaker. She got new glasses and they worked for about a month. But what's going on with the physical eyes? Why are they not working as well as they could?
And she knows this. She knows this. She has dry eyes. She does not put the liquid in there like she should. There's not much we can do. She has the cataracts removed. There has been artificial material placed over. And she needs to use this because the surgery was done. We can't undo that. She needs to put the drops in.
Okay, so drops are good.
Yes, drops are good.
Okay. She mentions that the neck has pain and she believes it to be arthritis. Can you
Yes.
look there, please?
Yes,
What can you do to remove that or heal or repair?
she can help on the physical level with taking daily calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D,
Okay.
and exercise the neck. It has been, and I repeat, it has been healed on the spirit body level.
Excellent.
Needs to be transferred. She can condition this for acceptance by using the calcium and magnesium, which will help the rest of the bones in the body also.
It helped the pineal gland too, won't it?
Yes.
Clear? Okay, good deal. Okay, she says her nose bothers her on the right side where the oxygen tube has been.
Yes. As was said before, that has been healed in the spirit body.
Okay.
But since that caused it is from the oxygen, she sleeps only on the right side because of the pacemaker, and that hits that area. She's afraid to say this.
Go ahead.
We suggest that she take the oxygen off at night.
Tell her why you suggest that.
We feel that she will be strengthened without it. Now that might sound strange, but we can work in the night without the oxygen. She doesn't need it at night. That sounds strange, but that's what we say.
And that I would assume that would make her physically stronger to be able to wean off of it during the day.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, since her body's at rest, and she's not thinking that it won't work when she's asleep, then the healing will start to take place.
Oh, excellent.
This is a tough one. She's strong-willed. She chose the sign to be born under, Aries, the sign of Aries. She's very, very bullheaded, very, very strong in the head.
But, I think if she was strong enough as a very young soul to figure out a way out of that black bubble, she could figure out a way out of this oxygen issue, couldn't she?
We believe she could. If she believes it, 'tis done.
Excellent. Okay, so we're going to work with her belief system and help support it and give it strength so that she can follow that.
We will diligently work at night. We will go ahead and work on her body to help her. We will go that far, but she must help us. Okay, let's go back. Young lady, I remember you sitting on a couch and you saying to Spirit, I will stop smoking if you take the desire away, Spirit. And then she said, I will do the rest. And it was instant. Do you remember that?
You're doing good.
Okay.
You're doing good.
You think you doubt, but you know what Spirit can do because you experienced it. Why are you doubting now? I'm doubting now because my body is so run down. But there is nothing that Spirit can't do. We did our part without you even making the agreement. Now you do your part, Wanda. I'm sorry that we have to be so stern. If you are going to walk and finish your path, this big hurdle is yours to do. It won't happen overnight. It depends on how strong your desire is to become well. I know you've been told that you will not ever be well again. In a reading, yes. Yes. That's not true. That is not true. You know very well that anything is possible. You can do so many things with the spirit world. Why do you doubt? Why? You need to find out. Go find out where the fear comes from now. Right now.
Excellent.
Suzanne,
Yes.
make her find out where the fear is coming from.
Okay.
Take her back
Okay.
now.
Okay, we want to go right back to where this fear originates from, and she's perfectly fine and safe, but we want to go back and investigate to see where this fear is at. And now we're there. You can just be observing and able to relate it to us. Where is this fear coming from?
Okay. A lifetime as a male.
Mm-hmm.
And I believed strongly in spirit. But we were in battle. And I asked to live. And a pole ran through me. And I hollered for spirit to save me. And they said they couldn't because you made the choice.
Mm-hmm.
You made the choice to fight. And I lost faith in what the spirit world could do.
Okay.
But I understand now. It was my choice. But I also know in that lifetime, if I hadn't have thought people would have looked down from me, they would have ostracized me. I would have been cast out. I would have been a nobody, and I felt I couldn't live with that the rest of my life, of not being part of. I'm not sure that's all of it either.
Okay. Okay, before we go back to where the rest of it is, I want you to spend just your energy giving forgiveness to yourself in that life
Okay.
for losing your faith, because it was just an experience that you learned from.
I did.
But we don't need to carry that fear in with us anymore. It served its purpose. We're giving lots of forgiveness to ourselves for that life. It's okay. Now, I want you to move and drift back to wherever else this origination and the fear came from. We're on a great hunt to find where all this fear is originating from, so that you can let go of it in the current experience. And now we're there. Where are you at? What do you see?
I'm a baby.
Okay.
They didn't want me. My mother gave birth and then just walked away and left me.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to live, and I couldn't. I didn't understand, and I died.
How did that affect you?
Didn't want to be in physical body anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I desire in this lifetime sometimes to take my life
Mm-hmm.
because it's so hard.
Right.
But then I'm afraid to do that too.
I want you to go back to that life, to that mother.
She never even looked back.
No.
Just never looked back.
But she must have been in a very difficult place herself to react that way, don't
Never
you think?
thought about that.
Her own sad existence, it sounds like. So can we please send her some love and forgiveness? And forgiveness to that little beautiful baby body that was just trying to do its best to exist. So it did nothing wrong.
It's a little girl.
Yes. Came right back to source, didn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Forgiving the mother, knowing she must have been on a very difficult journey herself.
Young.
Yes. Just at that time doing the best that she could do, even though it didn't seem to be very much at all.
She didn't know.
No. Doing great.
She was afraid.
Yes.
And I think that fear transferred to the child.
Oh, yes. Healing both hearts now.
I forgive you, Mother.
Yes. Is there anywhere else you feel we need to explore? Or?
Yes.
Okay, you're doing really good. We're going to leave that scene, just showering that baby and the mother with lots of love and forgiveness, letting them do their healing. They'll continue on and they'll heal. Now we're drifting and floating to wherever else we need to go to get to the root of this fear that this beautiful Wanda has carried with her from life to life. We're cleaning it all up now. Now we're there. Where are you at? What do you see?
Oh,
It's okay. You can just be observing it.
okay. In front of a train.
Okay. What's going on?
I was in despair.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do away with myself,
Okay.
but then I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But then it came to a point where there was no turning back. And I did it. Such fear.
Mm-hmm. So you made the decision that you didn't want to end your life, but it was too late?
Yes.
Okay. And what was it in that life you were trying to get away from?
Poverty.
Okay.
And the lack of love.
Mm-hmm.
Always the lack of love.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So, again, let's just give lots of love and forgiveness to that experience. You as that person.
What a waste.
It's all right. It's all right. You're learning now from that experience, and that serves a great high purpose, doesn't it?
Yes.
Clearing out all the fear that's been carried in this body. We don't need it anymore. Leaving that scene, drifting away from that scene, sending lots of love and forgiveness to that experience as that person. We understand it now and we're able to let it go. Drifting and moving to anywhere else that we need to go to understand where this fear is based at. And now we're there. What do you see? What's going on?
I'm a native,
Okay.
black native.
Okay.
I'm running in a jungle
Okay.
to get away from what I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I've great fear. I feel like I'm being chased by fear.
Okay.
And I ran and I ran and I ran and I'm lost. Oh, such a huge forest. Finally, I just sat down by a tree, really struggling to breathe. And there's, oh my goodness, blood running out my nose and my mouth.
Okay.
I don't know why. I ran and I ran and I ran. I don't think anybody did anything to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I died.
Okay.
But I was running from fear.
Okay.
Don't know what the fear was.
Okay, we can go back in time, back to before you started to run. What was it that made you fearful?
Someone in the village
Okay.
didn't like me.
Okay.
He was big and he was strong. And it was over a woman. He wanted her. And I loved her. He chased me off and I just kept running and running and running
Okay.
till I could run no more.
Okay.
That's,
At the time, though, it seems like a big deal, doesn't it?
yes,
But you can see it now with a wider perspective.
the fear was tremendous.
Do you think that lifetime brought in this inability to feel like she can breathe?
I think it had something to do with it.
Okay.
Because
That's where it originates
smothered.
from. Yes, yes.
Smothered.
Okay, so we want to do a lot of work of healing that fear from that lifetime. It was just a very narrow viewpoint he carried at that time, wasn't it?
Yes.
He didn't need to respond to that fear.
No.
And it's okay, because we're learning from it now.
Everything has a reason.
Exactly. And then you don't have to have the feelings of smothering or a lack of being able to take a good breath anymore, do we?
No.
We can completely remove this fear. It doesn't serve us anymore. It's done its job. We can let it go.
And I forgive that man.
We forgive the man. We need to. Can you see him now?
Yeah, he stands with his arms folded and he's just really proud of himself.
Okay. It doesn't matter. You don't have to change his mind.
Mm-mm.
But you can just release any anger, fear, sadness towards that situation. That's what you can do. Bless him, bless yourself, and move past that now. Let it go. Breathing should be much easier now. Feeling the healing of the hiatal hernia. Just so relieved. Doesn't have to carry that memory around anymore, does it?
No.
Are those the memories you wanted her to bring back and let go?
Those are important ones. There's more to each one of those than what she spoke.
Okay.
But she knows. The one in the battle that she hollered to Spirit, she needs to know that the choices she makes, Spirit can't interfere.
Okay. Because she has free will.
Right.
So she shouldn't lose faith
No.
because she's just made that choice and they can't interfere with it.
Right.
Okay. Okay, and what did you want her to know more deeply about the experience of being the abandoned baby?
That it's okay to die. That sounds harsh, but it's really okay. She experienced the birth process, and then she experienced the death process. But she felt that she wasn't wanted. And she wasn't. But the mother did not know any better. She was too young. She was not mentally stable enough to cope with the situation. But she as a baby suffered shortly It wasn't a long duration. There was actually no punishment in this at all. But she was bright enough to be afraid. She was cold. There was no one to help. As time goes on, she'll remember more.
Okay. I would imagine listening to the recording will help those memories
Yes.
come back.
Yes, it will.
Okay. And what was it about the experience of being in the front of the train that you wanted her to know more about?
Oh, be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you choose. Think before you jump. There's always a way to solve a problem, and death is not always the answer. She waited too long. She waited too long. She was female in that lifetime also.
And that's not a good way to
No,
exit this life, is it?
there were ways. She thought at the bottom. But there's always someone she could have reached out to or something.
And then tell us what
There's
it...
no judgment for that either.
Okay, no judgment for
Killing
making...
herself.
Yes. Aw. Tell us about that just a little bit. Is there ever judgment for suicides?
No, it's a man likes to think there is, but there isn't. The life is short, not completed, but there's always lessons, and there is lessons out of that taking your own life.
And
There's learning that comes from it.
And it affects others around them,
Yes,
right?
it does. It's like a chain reaction. And some spirits choose to do that. It's a learning process.
And the life that you showed her in the forest as a young black man, what was it that she needed to understand more about that experience?
Fear overcame again. And that time fear actually went to the depth of killing him. She was a he in that lifetime. And it actually drove him to the point of death. That's how strong the fear was. Fear can kill you. I didn't know that. Fear can kill.
You know, what strikes me, though, is in those other experiences, she couldn't make that connection while she was in the body. But today, in the experience of Wanda, she can make that connection while she's still in the body. What a gift.
What a gift.
She doesn't need to experience that anymore, does she?
No.
Be like
Sometimes it takes people lifetimes after lifetimes after lifetimes to learn one little part. She did not know fear could kill, could snuff a life out.
Wow.
That's strong energy.
She's almost experiencing that in this current life, wasn't
Yes.
she?
Yes. When she was in bed 5 months, one day she was going to the other side, and then the next day she was staying. It was a back and forth choice.
please give her a clear picture of what the current life could be like if she heals herself and accepts that she doesn't need to experience this fear anymore?
She could reach out to more people. She has almost secluded herself, almost to the hermit stage at this point, because the physical body is not able to function. Now, if she can get it together, then she can move out and about. And be with people.
What is her purpose in this life?
Part of her purpose is to radiate the energy of unconditional love. And she has the ability, through the hands of touching people,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a form of healing. This is a conduit. And the vision she had for the healing center. Those people that were around her at that time have all dissipated. That won't happen. Things have changed. Choices have been made. But as time goes on, if she gets his body healed, then more doors will open for her. And then she will find more of her people.
Well, I think that would make her very happy.
Yes. But there's no judgment if she chooses not to.
Okay.
Not to go on. I know that this is a big job for her. Probably her biggest job is to align her body. That's why we showed her the cross. There isn't a portion of her body that doesn't need to be realigned. This goes from the nervous system to the blood system, to the chemicals she puts in her body. This is the whole package.
But you're working with her to help with that.
Yes, we will go halfway, and she'll do the other half. We've already healed the spirit body.
That must have been a big job in itself.
It didn't take us as long as you think.
Well, you're incredibly efficient.
We had a whole troop here.
When she's doing her visualizations in the morning and at night, would it help her to visualize that whole troop being there with her?
Oh, yes. They won't do anything but line up in front of her,
Right.
but she knows that they're there, and they can. If she runs into a snag, she might just draw one of them out.
Okay. Well, that would be okay. She'd be
Yes.
all right with that. Okay, well, I'm going to keep moving here. I understand that you're working on all of her body. But let's move forward to her heart and her liver.
The liver condition is genetic, and she knows from the laboratory that 80% of the population have it. This is new information that has been found, and this has come from spirit, by the way, to this laboratory. to these people. They're very
Nice.
loving people. And we are going to allow that condition, not as severe as it was, but we're going to allow it because part of her mission is to be in contact with these doctors to convince them that this is the coming knowledge to help treat people, that medications alone cannot do this. Doctors are giving medications that are killing people because of this liver condition.
Mm-hmm.
And she's thought for some time, and she said she was sick of it, going to the hospital, and there was always someone there that was looking for the light. Be it nurses, be it doctors, be it patients, whatever. But she was sick of it. She did go, and that was part of her mission. And we sent this angel that had points of light all over her body to her. She almost forgot that. We know she's tired of being ill, but the condition will stay somewhat because she has the knowledge to make these doctors aware of how important it is. That's a bigger story than she's told you.
So she's actually a teacher to the doctors.
Yes.
Okay. Would they be open to her sharing this part of her session today with them?
One doctor,
Okay. Does she know which one?
primary doctor,
Primary doctor. Okay.
but she has done short readings for him, and he don't listen, but then he gets into trouble, and then he wishes he had listened.
Huh. Stubborn person one
Yes.
meets stubborn person two. Huh?
Number two, yes. She's sick of doctors, yes. She's sick of doctors,
But she could help a healer.
yes.
Okay. Okay, we understand that. What about the heart? How's that looking?
She's right when she said the heart will not function. They lasered that heart. It is full of scars. And it will not function without the pacemaker she has.
So what should we do about
But the
that?
breathing, if she does not get this breathing under control, will weaken the muscle so that it will not function at all,
Okay.
even with a pacemaker.
So it's vital,
Vital.
that she gets this breathing
Vital,
and the
yes.
spirit body working with the physical body.
Yes.
You know, I have noticed here today that while she's been under, she's been breathing very, very normally.
Yes.
What would you tell her about that?
She does this. If she sits or lays, this is how she breathes.
Mm-hmm.
But let her get up and walk, she cannot breathe normal.
Why is
Because there's inflammation in the throat area
Mm-hmm.
that closes off the opening to the lungs.
that? Okay. And you're doing work on that.
Yes.
How is that coming along, by the way? Can we get a little
The
update?
spirit part has been worked on.
Okay.
But she's going to have to do the rest.
Okay.
And there will be earth things that will come into play. She's got to keep the acid out of the stomach.
Okay.
She knows what to do. The thing we will have to work on her with more is the muscles of the body. Drugs will not help that. The spirit body has been healed. The esophagus works fine. If she can just transfer that healing into her own.
Okay. Okay. Very good.
This is going to be a tough road to walk.
But what an example she could be for others if she chooses to take it.
Some days she's very tired of being
Yeah.
an example.
I bet. Aw, such a beautiful soul. Well,
This is tough,
yeah.
but she's capable. She quit smoking just exactly like we said,
Yeah.
and she smoked 3 packs a day.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
And this lung problem did not happen because of the smoking. She quit many years ago, but she had a pneumonia
Mm-hmm.
and lots of steroids.
Well, I would imagine if she can conquer this and integrate that spirit body that's healthy with the physical body, that when she goes back to the temple, she might be able to teach a class or two herself.
Oh, yeah,
She's student teaching right now.
yes. Student teaching and learning.
Exactly. Okay. Anything about the left shoulder that we need to know about? What can you do to help relieve that bone-on-bone sensation?
She needs to believe that that cartilage will come back.
Okay. We've had
And-
that happen before.
She needs to believe that it can be back in her knees
Mm-hmm.
and in her shoulder,
And hip?
because the spirit body's healed.
Okay. So she can reproduce cartilage.
Yes.
Dolores has done that many times with her clients, seen it happen.
Oh.
Okay.
She wants to do some of this with your help.
I'm happy to help her. But really, she's the one that's doing all the healing, isn't it?
Yes. And she doesn't feel that she can do it.
Mm-hmm. But she can. I'm just the tour guide.
Yes.
Very, very grateful to be on this journey with her. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sending her to me.
Thank you for allowing her
Oh,
to come.
truly my honor.
She was at wit's end. And we said, oh, no. There's an answer for everything. Oh, no.
Well, I could feel it coming in today into the office. I knew miracles were going to happen today. I knew nothing else could happen but a miracle here.
How many other patients do you know of that have had the spirit body healed and then the student had to do the rest?
Oh, there's some.
Some?
Yep.
That's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. But what a strong learning they get from walking that whole path.
Oh, my.
She'll be Superman when she gets done with this.
And you know, not everybody will know what each person on this planet has, the path they have walked. They will not know the 100% details.
Exactly. This just gives us, for as
And
much
over.
information as this process gives us, it just gives us a scratching of the surface,
Right.
doesn't it?
Exactly.
Can I ask, because this hasn't happened before, why was it so important for me to direct her back to those past lives all of a sudden to where the fear was?
Because in her case, the fear is so huge, and she needs to get rid of the fear.
Mm-hmm.
And the fear hits her in the gut.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that one lifetime as a male with the spear
Mm-hmm.
went into the gut.
Okay. Now I'm moving a little bit over some of her health questions because it's obvious that you fixed the spirits part of it and we just need to apply.
Right, exactly.
Okay. And I want to get through all of her questions here. But is there anything that you'd like to address as far as her medications go?
And she will never get off of the thyroid medicine because her thyroid gland is gone.
Okay.
And it's safe because she takes natural thyroid. Um, she's on morphine, which does not help much with the pain. And they said that it would help with the breathing. We question that it helps with the breathing.
Mm-hmm.
We really do.
She questions that herself, doesn't she?
Yes. But there isn't any pain medications that she can take that the doctors will prescribe because they're afraid of losing their license, that the liver will process.
Okay. So let me ask this. If she works diligently with that visualization to connect the spiritual body to the physical body, would your...
She won't be needing to
Okay.
take these medications.
Can you please hook up to her primary doctor, so that when she comes to him, he'll be willing to work with her when he sees these improvements with her?
Yes.
Is that
But
possible?
he's a stubborn man too. Yes. We will be with her when she goes.
Okay. So that she can communicate with him
Yes.
in the way that he needs to hear it, so that
Yes.
he'll help her out?
Yes.
Okay. So we got that base covered.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, then I'm going to move on to her personal questions. Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay. She has a question about her marriage and her husband. What do you have to share with her about that?
Great learning lessons there.
For both, or him, or
both.
her? Okay.
It was in the contract.
Okay.
That's all we can tell you.
Has that contract been fulfilled, or is it still?
No, it's still being worked on.
Okay.
As the age has touched both of them, they have mellowed somewhat. There's a few ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bullheaded. Of course, she is too. And sometimes she backs off and stuffs, which does not help.
Okay.
Does not help. But if she speaks, then he just gets madder. He is totally devoted to his music. That was his path this lifetime. She would not take that away from him, because that's like food for him. But he needs to learn responsibility. There's more to life than music. More to life than music.
So they still have things to learn together?
Yes, and they will stay together until one of them chooses to leave.
Okay.
He has deep depressions because it's genetic. His sister has tremendous depression problems.
Mm-hmm. I notice, at least in my sessions, that when people are having depression issues, it's based in fear and lack of connection to God or to Source. They forget. They really forget.
There's also the human race has become genetically weak.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this is a chemical imbalance within the body. You got to factor in the pollution. Now is harvest time. The stuff that's flying around in the air is full of chemicals, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't aware of that. Water's not pure. The food we eat is not pure. Um, um, And as she notices, it is true that when he is out with the public and performing his music, there is no depression. It's just he's upset with the government. He's upset because his wife is ill. He does not like the responsibility of all the clamping down society does, government caused, rigmarole of papers and insurances and stuff like that. She takes care of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And he does not like to have to do any of that. That's called responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
He's still working on it.
Okay. Okay.
Still working on it.
So they're together for a reason, and
Yes.
they still have some things to
Yes.
learn together.
She thinks he doesn't love her, but yes, he does.
Oh, that's important for her
In
to
his
hear.
own way.
Right.
And she doesn't understand that way.
Okay. You touched base on this earlier, but she says her ultimate dream is to be a facilitator for healing and for people.
Yes. And she can do this.
Mm-hmm.
The power comes through her hands from source. It's the healing energy is everywhere.
Mm.
We just have to tap into it
Mm-hmm.
and direct it.
So she asked if she's too old to do this.
Yeah. No. She dwells a lot on age, and age don't have anything to do with it.
No.
But her body sure does.
Yeah. So she doesn't need to accept that this life is over. If she doesn't
Not
want
unless
to.
yes. If she so chooses, it will be.
Okay. And she wants to know if they should move or stay where they are.
If she had the opportunity to be with a group, a healing group that set up a center someplace, we would say go for it.
Okay.
Because there are, in the case of her husband, there is music all over the planet. He would not be at a loss. There's groups everywhere. And that house that they live in has become a burden. The ground is too large to take care of. And he tends to be a hoarder. And doesn't take the time to do it. And besides, he needs to work on his body also.
Okay. So maybe letting go of that eventually would help.
Yes.
Okay.
If the opportunity presents itself, it all hinges on whether she gets her I'm looking for the cliche that the earth people use, get all the somethings in a pile. I'm going to you got a walnut season going on here. Gets all her nuts in a row.
I like that. Oh, that's going to be the theme for this session. Get all your nuts in a row. I like that. Thank you. I know it's hard sometimes with the English and human languages to communicate because you're coming from such a place of vast awareness. Can I ask, she touched base about an experience that she had with ETs and with...
She's been an ET.
Well, I guess we kind of all are to a degree,
Yes.
aren't we?
Yes.
What about that experience and the implants and all that is best for her to know about right now? What would help her to know?
She agreed to do this. She had an agreement with them.
Okay.
And they were benevolent ETs. There's some bad ones out there too. But no, she agreed to work with them this lifetime
Okay.
to do that. And there was great love between them.
So are they still using the chips, the implants to monitor?
The eyes, they are.
What do they do with that information? What is...
They can monitor people.
Mm-hmm.
They can see through her eyes.
Okay.
A lot of things about people.
And what did they use that information for then? I'm curious.
They have they keep information like that. It's they compile it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, they've just always done it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you. That's just their race does that.
Okay. And so it's so when
It's they have like a library on each person here on this planet,
okay.
and
Wow.
she's not the only one that they work with.
So when she feels like the physical sensation of them working on her body, it's not always pleasant.
No, but they don't know that, and they say, "Well, it just lasts a little while." That's true.
Uh-huh. And it seems like most humans, when they have that experience, forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why?
Yeah, and she's blocked a whole lot out, a whole lot. But she's done readings. Or one girl has lots of ET children. They're a blend of ET and Earth children.
Uh-huh.
A lot.
And she believes that she's had maybe children.
Yes, they did take eggs.
Okay. And what happened with those eggs?
They experimented with them, and they have technology that they have technology where they can like almost clone, blend those eggs with somebody's else, a male sperm,
Okay.
and develop these children in test tubes. Somehow they genetically add to that. It's a three-way thing. Parts of the ET,
Parts of the human, parts of the ET.
Yes.
And then something else.
blend that. Well, the male Earth man
Mm-hmm.
and the female, they take the sperm from the man and the eggs from the woman,
Mm-hmm.
blend that, and they also blend some ET into that.
Oh, okay. So kind of like a hybrid.
Yeah,
And then where do those bodies go to? What do they do with them?
they're on with the ETs.
Oh, okay.
They're a little bit, they're a little bit taller than the ETs themselves,
Okay.
and a little bit stronger.
Okay.
But they did not want to lose the ET. Hunting for a word.
Like the genetic connection?
Yeah, they didn't want to lose their ET connection. They wanted that implanted into the human. Anyway, they wanted the...
Like the DNA?
Yes. They didn't want to lose the fact that they were who they were.
Okay.
They wanted that transferred into this mix.
So
They've done this on this, planet before.
So are they more just like when they're doing that probing and that testing, are they more just, is that like a maintenance of the human species?
No, it's maintenance. No, it doesn't have anything to do with it. Well, yes, it does. They're taking the very best of the male genetics, and like they can take out of the eggs the parts they don't want.
Okay.
It's hard to explain coming through this human form. And make a perfect three-way connection.
Excellent.
I've got to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get ready to count her out now. You've answered every
Okay.
question of hers so well. So thank you so very much. You've done so well. She's done very, very well. Do you have a final message you would like to give to her?
Please, we've done our work. Make the agreement with us that you will do your part. will go forward. We will stand in the shadows. Just know that we're always there. And if you reach out, you get to a point where you desperately need our help, we will help. And we love you. You are us.
Beautiful. Well, it is always such a pleasure and a joy to sit with your energy. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for this experience today.